how's your week going? I'm Fiona, and if you're new to this channel, I am a plant lady and plant stylist currently living in New York City with 150 plants and 2 cats. I love indoor gardening and I love sharing my experience and plant styling tips on social media. Subscribe if this is something you're looking for. It is Sunday today, and it's one of my favorite days of the week because it's also plant care day. I usually spend my day just checking up on my plants and watering them. You might think it might be overwhelming to have 150 plants to take care of, but I actually enjoy the process of nurturing other living things. And since incorporating nature into my home, I've found a lot of positive changes in my well-being. Before I go on with my regular routine, I want to introduce you to my newest plant purchase. Is this beauty right here. This is the philodendron lemon lime. It's such a gorgeous plant, and I was just captured by the different light green colors that come out, and the newest leaf is just so pretty. I love the different shades of green. This plant is so beautiful and I want it to keep growing in my house. So the first thing I need to do is understand how to take care of it, and that's the first step I do when I bring a plant into my house. So I'm like looking into the pot, and I usually look for a plant tag, and luckily this plant has a plant tag. It gives me the name of this plant and also general care requirements in the back. So this is a really good start to understanding my plant. I like to keep all this houseplant information in one place so that I can always refer back to it if I need to. My digital plant journal is in my iPad. It has all the information I need for most of my plants. And this is the philodendron lemon lime. I love the name. I love lemons and limes, so. On the plant care sheet, we're just going to fill out the basic information, starting with the plant name again. So this is philodendron lemon lime. Nice, everything fit perfectly. Nickname for this plant. I'm going to go with lemon pie because I really like lemon pie. And all I can think of right now are desserts. Next is adoption date. So this is the date I purchased the plant. This would be 8/15. It was a Monday. Adoption location, I went to the flower district. If you guys never been to the flower district, I would highly recommend it. They have a street of just like different plants. So unique characteristics. It almost comes out yellow, the new leaves, so I'm gonna say that. Judging by the way it's growing, it's definitely a climbing plant. All right, so now we're up to basic care information, starting with humidity. With my experience with philodendrons, I would say something around 50 to 65% should be good. 50 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. We all know that philodendrons are not pet friendly. They're actually toxic to our furry friends. So if you have a cat that likes to destroy your plants, I would keep this away from them. In my case, as you can see, Thing has no interest in my plants, so I don't have to worry as much, but I should still be mindful the fact that it's not pet friendly. Next, we have lighting requirements. So this information is on the plant tag, which is great. I don't have to look elsewhere for it. It says place in a light shaded area, and also says avoid direct light. So definitely not going to place this next to my window. I had this on the corner of my dining table before, and I think that might be the perfect place for it because it's pulled back a little bit from my south facing window, so you still get a little bit of that light shaded to bright environment. And so far it's been growing out new leaves, so I'm going to take it as a sign that it likes it in that spot. Right now I'm trying out this new soil, which is from Fox Farm. So I'm gonna put that in here. Okay, so we got the growing medium out of the way. Next, we need the fertilizer information and frequency. I use organic worm casting. That's basically fancy word for worm poop. And I also use liquid dirt in my water. We just finished completing the basic plant care, so we're gonna move on to other areas of the care sheet. And my favorite part is filling out the growth chart because we get this sketch. I'm not like a fantastic artist or like a sketcher by any means, but I like doing this part because it makes me really look into the details of the plant and make me notice things that I didn't even notice before. Like the fact that now I noticed these new leaves have a pink stem, which I didn't notice before, and the fact that there's multiple plants in here. This growth chart is separated into two quadrants, the height and the date. So it's really for tracking how fast this plant grows. How we're gonna get the height. So we need a measuring tool. I have my trusty measuring tape over here. And currently this plant is, wow, 11 inches tall. I didn't even notice that. 11 inches, today's date. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants in here, which is what's making it so full. I definitely want to capture how full this plant looks, so which is why I'm making it kind of look like a bush. It's really light. I might have to go over this with that green color. I'm gonna show some of this. There we go. See, you get that lemon color in there. All right, so super quick sketch. Doesn't have to look perfect, but you get the general characteristics of the plant. So let's say if you're going away for a trip or something and you need someone to take care of your plants, like your boyfriend or your partner or whatever, and they're trying to find the lemon lime philodendron, they'll look at this sketch and be like, which was the one with like the lemon lime color with the lemon color leaves, and they'll find the plant easily and they'll be able to figure out basic care information that you put in. I want to say that I do want to propagate this plant just because there's so many different stems in here, and you can see the nodes in here that makes it look like it will propagate very easily. I mean, I've always propagated philodendrons and they're like one of the most easy plants to propagate. So I do want to propagate this in the future, and I want to make a note of that. Let's say like when it gets to be 16 inches tall, I would say we're gonna propagate it. So I want to make a note that it has a lot of nodes, so it's easy for propagation. I feel like this would do really good in water propagation or just air layering, because like there's so many space in between the leaves and the stem. Okay, I think that's good enough because we want to leave some room for other notes along the way. I'm loving how filled out this care sheet looks now. You can really see the characteristics of the plant and get a feel of how to care for it just by looking on this care sheet. And I can always refer back to this on general information, like where I got it and when I got it, just in case if I want to go back for another one, or if a friend asks me where I got this plant, because a lot of times I used to not remember where I got plants. And I'll be like, I don't know, somewhere in like New York, or maybe I ordered it or something. But now I can exactly tell them where I got the plant. Since all this information is filled out and I know how to care for this plant and I understand it completely, I can officially say that it's the newest member in the feline jungle. And to celebrate that, let's put this back in its original spot. Since I have all the information on this plant and I finally understand it, I can officially say that it's the newest member in the feline jungle. Yay! And to celebrate it, we're going to put this back in its original spot. This beautiful plant can join my other plants to the next part of this video, which is watering time, because that is my favorite time of the day. So let's just get to it. There's a lot to do. And we're gonna start with watering this lemon lime philodendron first because we were just talking about how thirsty it was. So I'm gonna go into the soil and make sure to water thoroughly in all areas of the pot until the water starts draining out. Now the plants here are generally more thirsty than other areas in my house because it just gets that direct southern light and it's very close to the window, so the light and the heat really dries out this area. If you watch my videos long enough, you might notice that the layout's kind of a little bit different. I've been playing around with rearranging this area. I'm not like 100% satisfied with this corner yet, so I'm just playing around. I'll definitely make a video when I fully redesign this area. This is the Hoya elliptica. The leaves are getting a little bit wrinkly, so it definitely is time for another watering. This string of hearts is going strong. It's growing so long, it's actually time to give it a little trim. These Hoyas have been growing like crazy and they've been producing flowers since April and they haven't stopped. And they tend to need a lot of water in order to produce these flowers. So I have to water them more frequently than I usually do. Yeah, if I touch the soil, it's so dried out. I really have to drench the soil in water. Look at this Hoya obovata, it just keeps giving me flowers. It's crazy. What did I do to deserve you? There's like 3 opened flowers on this plant, and at night the flowers smell so strong, it just comes in and out. You can even see some of the sap. So I'm in the transition of moving this, but right now this houses a lot of the old plants that were on this side of the wall, like this Hoya carrii that I have over here. It also has my Syngonium albo. You might remember this from my DIY project where I mounted it on a piece of driftwood. I noticed that this plant needs a lot of water and I didn't know that before. So now I make sure to really soak the soil each time I water it. Ooh, moving on, I want to talk about this Jose Bono. This was from a import I did in Indonesia. I think I got this from Green Space ID back in March. And it was in pretty good condition. Let me show you. It was in pretty good condition, and if you remember that video, I actually had this growing in ponds just to encourage more roots, because I feel like philodendrons do really well in ponds for me. And I just recently repotted it in soil because it was getting too big for the little jar of ponds that I have. And I'm just so excited for this plant to get bigger because it has really beautiful variegation. The one that had the most beautiful variegation fell off, but look at this, there's a new leaf coming out, and this new leaf came out right after I transitioned it into soil, so I know that it's really loving the soil medium that I put it in, so that makes me really happy. Gonna make sure to water it enough. I just finished watering this section of my house, and I just want to put in some major updates in my plant journal, starting off on when I watered some of these plants so that I can remember and refer back to it. And I also want to put in new progress on my Jose Bono. This new leaf is very exciting and I definitely want to make note of it. Have you guys ever tasted the sap of like a Hoya flower? It's really sweet. Yeah, it's so sweet that it's like tastes like alcohol. It's intoxicating how sweet it is. I guess it attracts all like the insects and things. Now that we're done here, we're just gonna wrap it up and move into the living room and water the plants in there. Let's go. This is my living room, and I also have a lot of plants here. If you guys are not familiar with this space, I call this my plant wall. I know, so original. But this actually used to also be like a hybrid working space. During the early stages of the pandemic, I used to work over here, but after a while I needed like a monitor and like space for my laptop, so this was not enough space, and I moved into the dining room. Right now I kind of just let it go out of control. I have like random crap here, and the plants are slowly taking over. I do have some ideas of how I want to make over this space. Like, I definitely want to make this like a plant tool display wall, but I will make that a different video because this is not what we're gonna do in today's video. Today's all about plant tours and what we do on Sundays. So yeah, definitely gonna make this a new video. Let's just get back into talking about the plants. I definitely want to show you my Monstera deliciosa. This is my big Monstera deliciosa, and it's really loving this corner from the north facing light. It produced a new leaf recently, and it has so many fenestrations, and I know it's gonna get even bigger because it's still soft. So I definitely want to document that in the plant journal. Here I have another Monstera. This is the Monstera Peru. I also recently moved it here just because I was running out of space in my other area. You might be wondering what this is. It's like a little pouch, kind of like a saline solution, but it's actually just water. It's a self-watering pouch for plants, and I'm trying this out because I'm gonna go on vacation soon, so I want to see how my plants are liking it. So far it seems to be doing fine. I'm also using this system on my Philodendron glorious. I recently repotted it in here and also gave it a nice moss bowl because it was just getting very leggy and it looked like it was about to topple over. It seems to be liking it here. Hopefully the next leaf will be bigger than this. Let's see what else we have on this side. On this side, I want to talk about this plant, my Philodendron golden dragon. So since it's the summer, it's been really loving the heat and the extra water that I've been giving it. And there's a new leaf pushing out over here, and it seems like this leaf will be very big. So I'm very excited about that. Check out this plant too. This is a new plant that I recently added. It's called the Philodendron crocodile. It has these really nice lemon lime leaves. I call it the Florida cat because in Florida there's a lot of crocodiles and they kind of like stray cats, so I just call it the Florida cat. But it's just loving summer so much. The leaves are getting double the size, and I feel like it's just gonna grow even more in the next coming weeks. And there are a lot of plants that are like that right now, and I can go on talking about these plants and all these plant updates, but this is not a plant tour video. But if you guys are interested in seeing my whole collection, let me know in the comments. If many of you guys are interested, I will definitely make a video. We're done here, and I just need a quick break. I'm gonna take a sip of water and come back to you. As you may know, I love taking cuttings of my Hoyas because they just root so easily in water. This is a cutting of my Hoya. I don't remember what it's called. It has a really long name. It's like Manuperleus. I just remember it as like the triangle Hoya because all the leaves are triangular shape. I'll leave the official name in a little note in my video. But I just took a propagation of this last week, so no new roots developing so far, but it's also not rotting, which is a good sign. I just need to give it some patience and it will start growing roots in here. This cutting is sitting in a really nice frame from Modern Botanicals. I've actually had these frames sitting in a box in my kitchen for almost 3 months now. I just never got around to opening it, and I regret it so much because they're so beautiful. They're made of high quality wood, and it's just very sturdy glassware. So if you guys are interested, they kindly gave me a code for 15% off your order, which is Feline Jungle. I'll leave a link in the description below. Just talking about this plant again, I definitely want to track the progress. It's a fresh new cutting with no roots, so it'll be very fun to start seeing the roots form and kind of track when all that happens in my plant journal. So first thing we gotta fill out is the plant name. I have to come back to this, but right now I'm just gonna call it Hoya Triangle. This is water propagation. I did this sometime last week, right before I was gonna go to sleep. I think it was like 8/19. It was like a Friday. End of propagation day, I don't have that yet. Results, I don't have results yet, but this is a good start to start tracking progress for this plant. We're at the end of Sunday, so I'm gonna wind down so that I can start off strong tomorrow for the new week. Thank you so much for coming along this journey with me, where I was able to show you the newest member in my feline jungle, which is now called Lemon Pie. And also I was so happy to able to share all the new progress that's been happening in my feline jungle. Thank you so much, and I look forward to Plant Care Day next week. Do you like the plant journal that I've been using in this whole video? If you do, it will be available on my website at felinejungle.com on September 25th. It's this thing that I've been working on for the past couple of months, trying to design it, refine it, so that it'll be useful for all levels of plant lovers. So on September 25th, this plant journal will be available to you in a digital form, just like what I used on my iPad. And also it'll be available on a printable form, meaning that you can print it off like a printer and you can physically write it on paper if that's something you like. Before that, before September 25th, you can start trying out the plant care sheet that's part of the plant journal just by subscribing to my newsletter at felinejungle.com/subscribe. It's the exact one that I used for my lemon lime philodendron in this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye! Slow blink.